Coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11's Daybreak Today.
Now at 6 o'clock, Texans will head to polls today as early voting begins for the state primary elections. And the Levelland City Council votes on a new ordinance to address the red flower beetle infestation. Plus, a home was destroyed by fire in Northeast Lubbock. How the house is connected to a pending capital murder case. We'll bring you the full story. Today is Tuesday, February 20th. You are watching Daybreak Today. And of course, we're always glad to have you here with us. I'm Angie Wynn.
I'm Steve Devine. Good morning.
Such a good forecast. You've been talking about today's conditions, but also just the rest of the week. Not too shabby for February.
Not too shabby for February, and it is going to get much warmer before the next cold front. Now, right now, there is a chill in the air. This is our tower cam here at 98th and University. We do have quite a bit of high cloud cover streaming in from the west early this morning. High clouds, so it'll stay dry here. Temperatures currently, it's down to the freezing point at the Plainview Airport. Lubbock Airport, though, is still 39, still 47 at the Seminole Airport. These are some pretty mild temperatures. Again, it's quite chilly at the moment, but by 10 a.m. we're in the 50s. Lunchtime we'll hit the 70s, 1 o'clock 75, 4 p.m. about 80, on our way to a high today of about 81 degrees. That's 20 degrees above the average high for this time of year. Bit of a breeze coming up this afternoon at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, and that means some gusts above that. And again, a lot of high cloud cover, but it stays dry. You want it even warmer? Well, that happens. That's coming up in the forecast here, but we do have a cold front on the way, so we'll see what happens with that front here in just a few minutes.
Yes, we're putting that order in now. Thank you, Steve. Well, early voting begins today in the Texas primary elections. Good weather for that, which determines candidates who will advance to the November general election. This includes a variety of local, state, and federal races, including the race for president. When you show up to vote, you must first tell the poll worker which party ballot you will be voting on. Early voting runs through March 1st, and Election Day is March 5th. We have a link to sample ballots, voter ID requirements, and where you can find your nearest voting location at kcbd.com. And Levelland City leaders say it has more power now to regulate the storage of agricultural commodities inside city limits. The Levelland City Council voted unanimously to pass a new ordinance stemming from the red flower beetle infestation in the Kaufman Edition. Levelland City Manager James Fisher says the ordinance, along with pest management plans, will give the city better tools to respond if it happens again, which includes requiring businesses to respond within 60 days instead of 6 months. Fisher says the city is also looking into ways to help homeowners recover some of those costs of repeatedly spraying their homes.
The mayor asked me last week to look at some sources for some grant funding, and we're looking at that to see if we can find some funds out there that possibly we could help our residents with to get through this challenge.
The ordinance must go through a second vote to be enacted. The second vote is expected at the next council meeting, which is March 4th. KCBD has confirmed a house destroyed in a fire less than 24 hours ago was actually part of a pending capital murder case. Volunteer firefighters responded to a home near East 2nd and Olive Monday morning. Fortunately, everyone got out safely, but the home appears to be a total loss. Back in 2018, deputies found this woman, the body of 20-year-old Katrina Castillo, in the backyard of that same home, bound and stabbed. Police say 26-year-old Xavier Garcia admitted to kidnapping, robbing, and killing her. Garcia is now awaiting trial for capital murder for Castillo's death. He's also charged in the murder of comedian Jordan back in January of 2018. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. In Fort Worth, former Lubbock auto dealer Bart Rager is asking for a reduced sentence. He's currently serving prison time, if you'll remember, in a federal medical facility for making false statements to banks back in 2021. His attorneys argue Rager was not a violent offender and suggested he did not personally cause financial hardship. Let's turn now to Joshua Ramirez at the News Now desk. We are getting word this morning multiple people have been injured after an overnight police chase through East Lubbock. Joshua, what information is LPD releasing at this point? What do we know?
Angie, right now we know 3 suspects are recovering from moderate injuries. No officers were injured in the chase that started in the 1700 block of East 31st Street just a bit before 12:30 last night and ended after a crash near East Main Street and Idalou Highway. Right now, LPD is still investigating the chase and the wreck that brought it to an abrupt end. We haven't heard yet what caused the suspects to run from police, and their names haven't been released at this time. But we will continue to follow this investigation as new information is released. Angie.
Perfect, thank you. A notorious cybercrime gang has been disrupted after a rare international law enforcement operation by the FBI and its allies. The ransomware gang known as Lockbit has claimed responsibility for several attacks using the dark web. They use it to extort its victims. The group has taken credit for an attack that took place back in November as well. That attack forced a New Jersey-based healthcare system to cancel patient appointments. Lockbit reports it is also behind ransomware attacks in Fulton County, Georgia, disrupting key county services for weeks. Now, before we get to local weather conditions, heavy rain is pounding California at this hour. Flood alerts already in effect for nearly the entire state, and forecasters say millions of residents will see excessive rain today. John Lawrence reports.
Roadways looking like rivers in Ventura County, California. Over in Alameda County, part of State Route 84 washed away into the creek Monday, leaving some local drivers in the lurch.
Didn't expect this for just this rainfall. Like it isn't that hard, right?
Roughly 37 million Californians are under flood alerts, and the Weather Prediction Center issued excessive rain outlooks for most of California through Tuesday.
They're moving pretty quick. They're firing up and developing really quickly and moving off towards the east and northeast at a very fast rate.
The WPC says Los Angeles is at level 3 of 4 flood risk Tuesday, while both San Diego and Santa Barbara are at level 2.
Please stay away from the creeks. They're absolutely dangerous. It is swiftly flowing water. And what we don't want to have to do is have somebody get injured or worse, die because they fall into a fast-moving creek.
The major rains come from an atmospheric river-fueled storm that stalled off the west coast. And officials say they can cause a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
5 or 10 minutes and it's going to move out. But in that 5 or 10 minutes, you could have some damaging wind gusts, in addition to the dangerous lightning, heavy rainfall, and small hail.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
It's 6:07, and as mentioned, we're getting to our forecast here on the South Plains. Steve, what can folks expect if they're just waking up?
Good morning. From that California storm, some clouds, but no showers, which is pretty typical from a Pacific storm. Here is that storm system. Caught up in that in a jet stream is this flow of moisture in the air, hence the name atmospheric river. It might be a relatively new phrase to you, but they've been around forever, these atmospheric rivers. We typically, with these Pacific systems, do not get showers. What we do typically get is some wind out of these. So today, some high clouds drifting across the area. Once again, they won't bring any shower activity to the region. Currently, the Lubbock airport is mostly cloudy. 39 degrees, a light wind, enough to put the wind chill reading at 33. So it's quite chilly out there now. Again, some high clouds drifting across the area. It does get quite breezy. 10 to 20, some gusts near 30 will be possible for us today, but it also gets quite warm. A typical high for today is 61. We'll be 20 degrees above that at 84 degrees today. So, 81 degrees today. Overnight low at about 40 degrees. Now for February, again, about 20 degrees above the average high. That 40-degree reading, that's about 8 degrees above the typical low this time of year. My forecast high for tomorrow is 85 degrees. The record high is 84. That was back in 1996. So if we hit that 85, it'll be a record high for the date. Cold front, early Thursday. No showers with this, as I mentioned, but wind ahead of the front, wind behind the front, and a big drop in the temperature. This is actually a moderately strong cold front. You can judge that by that change in temperatures there of 20 degrees, but still no showers with that front. We'll stay dry all the way through the weekend, and take a look at this. Temperatures rebound very quickly. Saturday back in the low 70s, Sunday upper 70s, perhaps close to 80 once again.
Thanks so much, Steve. We'll check in again shortly. Still to come on Daybreak today, when Lubbock VFW Post is helping one of its own to find hope, purpose and healing. We will explain. Plus, the TV series Quantum Leap wraps up tonight. A sneak peek at the 2-hour season finale. Well, that's on the way for you. Stay with us. We're helping you right into your Tuesday on Daybreak Today.